Hello, hello, hello. Are we live? Yes, we are live. Welcome, everyone. I am Restless Dreamer. And this is my second stream on this channel, and we're playing
Traces of the supernatural
Pathologic.
reveal
I'm
themselves
gonna let this
more
guy talk.
often than intelligent and reasonable men would prefer them to. Chimeras, worshipped by our ancestors centuries ago, crawl back into the light from ancient times. The directors of our fate rain ash down on us from the grey heavens. They conceal themselves beneath us, above us, and among us, staying hidden until we muster up the resolve to meet their malevolent gaze. Having been discovered, they appear in the flesh for a mere moment, and then they expire horribly, wreaking havoc on the world that they rightfully see as their toy.
So that was the intro there. I have to change one setting, the VSync, because it's not gonna do anything for you guys, but for me that was a little glitchy. But I am finally gonna play this game. This game came out 2005, but I'm playing currently the HD classic version. I've never played Pathologic before or its sequel, Pathologic 2. But I heard that this game is a very controversial game, not because of the content within, but because of how it plays. And it can be frustrating and also very demoralizing to play. And I'm excited to see what that means and what that entails. I know Pathologic 2 has way better reviews and better reception because it has a lot more quality of life, actual game, you know, like it plays like a video game. But I just wanted to play this for myself and see what the hype is about. I know there are video essays about this game, talking about like what it is, whatever. Some people think it's a masterpiece. I don't know that much about the game aside from it takes place in Eastern Europe and developers are Russian, and this game is apparently not as fun to play as the sequel. But they're both like survival horror games, and I really want to.
So, it's all about trickery to you? Wherever have you come from?
No. I detest trickery. But if we ourselves are to suffer deception, our hands are no longer tied. Where are we?
Well, the muscular contraction is there. Means you're already inside of him. This must be one of the ventricles, right here.
What a silly place. It's stuffed. So it's not real for now? I don't think it has started yet.
Does it matter what it's made of? It's definitely struggling. We need to perform Sectio Transversalis. Cut the wall. There's no other way out. What else is there to do?
I know what to do. Those who favor hard logic and direct action are bound to be misguided. Only a miracle can set us free without us having to destroy something. And I can do miracles. Just let me.
Will you please be quiet? You're a liar and a thief. Who is going to believe you when you keep lying to yourself? The truth is my shepherd. Whatever happens, I will find answers, and justice will be restored. I will perform the operation. Medica morbo adhibe.
Don't you go all bossy on me, clever clogs. You will act justly, but your justice will blind you and become his demise. This calls for the gentle hand of a surgeon. Step aside, both of you.
Your gentle hands are used to killing, not giving life. You will inevitably do harm. As for Brainy, he has no regard for casualties at all. Neither of you knows compassion.
Yes, it seems unlikely that we'll get along well, but there's only one truth.
Any choice is right as long as it's willed. That's the truth of the matter.
Only the heart will show you the right choice. Stop thinking about yourselves. Think of the sick. He's in pain. I can't see it yet, but I can feel it.
It's not even a trap. It's a grave.
Oh, I didn't mean to skip all that stuff, but so we have three, I guess, different characters here. They were talking ominously about healing people and how some of these people seem to may not have a good background. One guy claims to be a healer but is actually a killer or whatever like that, but we can read all this. So we got the first one, Bachelor. The history of humanity witnessed a number of catastrophes that have demonstrated without a shadow of a doubt the pettiness of human achievement and the triumph of the invincible evil. Outbreaks of infectious diseases that have from time to time wiped towns and cities off the map are undoubtedly among those. However smart and virtuous, the people caught up in these destructive events have repeatedly come to the conclusion that it's no use trying to fight these circumstances. The best you can do is bite the bullet and cope with your losses. This is the story of a person who has managed to work a miracle and defeat a seemingly unvanquishable foe. Then we got Haruspects. How do they call upon the Menku, the faithful of the warden kin, known by their hands for they are butchers, known by their eyes for they are surgeons, they who follow the lines, they who are the leaders of the kin, they who speak to the Udurgs, they who speak the secret art of Haruspice. I don't know. What is a Haruspex? Reading the future in the entrails. He knows that a body bears semblance to the universe. His scalpel follows the lines of the body. His steps follow the lines of his kin's fortune. A Haruspex that can tell a true line from a false one is entrusted with power. A Haruspex who is confused by his path gets buried into the deep black flesh of the earth. This is the story of a person who has avoided the contradiction, eager to rip a doomed life apart, masterfully fulfilling his true purpose in the process. Then we have Changeling, who we can't play as yet. You unlock after finishing either Bachelor or Haruspec's storyline. So I'm probably gonna go with Bachelor for my first one. That makes the most sense for me, at least, because it seems that maybe this guy Haruspex is maybe a little I don't know, maybe a little too interesting to play for my first playthrough.
A Bachelor of Medicine, was brought here by circumstances most unfortunate. Dankovsky's life work, his theory challenging the existing notions of human mortality, is being harshly persecuted by the powers that be. Suddenly, a letter arrives from a colleague suggesting that there is previous undiscovered evidence which may support Dankovsky's claims. There is a settlement, the letter says, ruled by an extraordinary man who may well be seen as objective proof of Dankovsky's daring hypothesis. Grasping at straws of hope, Dankovsky decides to follow what he believes to be the sign of divine providence. Without further ado, he sets off for the settlement. Late at night, Bachelor arrives in the town. As he seeks room and board, he gets to know a girl called Eva Yan, and stays at her place till dawn.
All right, interesting. So, oh, we got more. We got more stuff. A little cinematic. Oh. Looks like he has like a medical bag. So I don't know what any of this means. Very cool music. I like the music in the game so far. I don't know who any of these characters are, which I'm sure I'm going to learn soon enough. Interesting outfit. Seems like she is did I just see a dog man in that loading screen? As of today, my mission remains obscure. The examination of Simon Kane, who is rumored to be a man of incredible longevity, may shake the very foundation of modern thanatology and challenge the existent notions of death itself. However, even if this undying Leviathan proves to be more than a fairy tale, the mere confirmation of his existence won't suffice to prevent the powers that be from shutting our laboratory down. I need to figure out the most fruitful approach. Simon is a well-respected man, and if he makes my interest for effrontery, it would be nigh impossible to convince him to help me break new ground in the field of human vitality. So, thanatology is a study of death, modern death research. So if this guy lives a long time, then obviously that would shake the scientific world. So this is going to be interesting, to say the least. Let me just take a sip of this real quick. All right. So we're going to go in. So today's quest, other tasks, mission. So this is our overall mission, is to examine Simon Kane. So I guess we're gonna go along with that. By the end of day one, by the end of which the Bachelor finds himself battling a truly unvanquishable foe. Alright. So alright. Let's look around. I can't pick up any of this, right? Okay, Q is to see my quest and stuff. It's like a weird, like, tree man. It's like Yggdrasil in the form of a person. Actually, I am super dumb. That is the nervous system. But it kind of looks like a tree, right? It looks like this branch is coming out because obviously your head does not go that big. So it may be like a combination of the nervous system and like a tree, right? Tree of life. And then you got a little microscope here. It's flashing. Oh. I don't see anything in here. What I have down here? I saw some. Oh. That's my inventory. So I got weapons, clothes, drugs, rations, other. I know apparently the point of this game is to like survive and like obviously do your quests. Okay, I got the VSync stuff. I have to restart the game for it to take effect. I'm gonna save the game because I don't feel like throwing up. So I'm gonna go in and out of the game. All right, let's go back in. Yeah, the stuttering in the screen. You guys don't see it on your end, but it's a little jarring to say the least. But it should be good now. So we go back in the game. But yeah, I know this game is highly regarded as a fantastic story. But like that's much better. Okay. Does it look good for you guys on your end? Yeah, it looks good. Okay. So I don't know. Oh. What? So, I'm highlighting my dresser here, but it's nothing inside. So I guess I could put stuff in there. Health, immunity, hunger, exhaustion, infection. What is this little thing here? Oh, it's just for sleeping. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the game too on my end because it is big mode. Let's see. Pathologic. We'll turn it down to that. That sounds good for me. Alright, and it shouldn't affect you guys. Alright, there you go. Okay, so I'm supposed to look for this guy, Simon Kane, I believe, because I don't have any other quests or anything like that. So let's open this door and this weird spiral staircase. Let's see. I can't look at that. Anything around here that I could use that I might need or whatever? Oh, that's a person. She's the one from the beginning. You know, we got a broken mirror. Guess you don't like the look of yourself.
I had a feeling you would come.
Did the sounds from the outside wake you up too? There was a terrible groan and then something snapped loudly. So let's see. I have two options. No, I heard nothing, and I fell asleep so quickly I didn't even notice. It's like I fainted. So what sounds are you talking about? Probably go with that one. Let's see. Oh, it shows the log up there. I think there are strangers in the backyard by the pond. They're unlikely to be planning mischief, but I have a bad feeling about this. I'm afraid to go out to them. I hope they go away soon and stop disturbing our sleep. I'd like to thank you for your hospitality, for board and bed. Why do you think they aren't planning anything foul? I'll thank her. I sincerely hope you have everything you need because I'm very happy to have you here. Daniil, is it? Could you please tell me where your ruler, Simon Kane, lives? Are you willing to trade the company of a fascinating woman for that of a dreadful old man, even if he is a sorcerer? That's so sad. But Simon won't go anywhere. He is. He has always been. He always will be. Even if the moon were to fall to the ground. Please stay with me a little longer. Alright, so this is interesting. Simon is a sorcerer. Did I hear you right? Is that the secret to his longevity? I couldn't even imagine hospitality here. But who was waiting for me? I didn't notify old Burka of my arrival. I'm not even sure what made me take off for this place. See, I am so confused as to what some of these things mean. But I'll go with this one, the second option. Glory is the messenger riding ahead of the man, a celebrity from the capital, Bachelor Denkovsky, the founder of Thanatica, the man who challenges death. Of course, we've heard about you. The glory is undeserved, yet but I hope that getting to know your ruler will give me a chance to live up to the expectations, or I have to go, Eva. Tell me where Simon King lives. I don't want to be too hasty, so we'll probably go with the second option. First option, Death. So that's the enemy you've chosen for yourself. Isn't it hard? I don't think anyone has managed to defeat that evil yet. Millions of doctors defeated it on certain singular occasions, but my enemy is more fearsome. It is death itself rather than singular case of death. Or my enemy is inevitability. I am challenging the forces of nature. I'll probably go with the first one. I don't understand. I could barely understand it myself. Could death only seem inevitable to us, but in reality be nothing more than a whim of the will that had shaped this world? That is the question. So, where is the key to my victory? Or show me where Simon lives. I'm gonna go with the first one again. Let's see. It's not far. The Canes live at the Crucible on Bridge Square. But could I please offer you a piece of advice? Go on. Simon has two younger brothers, the eldest of two. Georgi is called the judge by the locals. Visit him first. He isn't asleep. He'll teach you how to speak with Simon. The youngest of the three is Victor. His daughter, Maria, also wanted to see you. It's probably important. Was it she who knew about my arrival beforehand? Yes, she told me about it privately. Talking to her is no simple task. Maria is that kind of person. She puts on airs, but that's just how the Canes are. It was Maria who told me that she would help you defeat death. That's the precise wording. What a coincidence. Alright, thank you for the advice. Go, and I'll prepare everything for your return. Do come back after you speak to the Canes. They'll probably do a lot of things that will puzzle you and put you on guard. I will have some advice that may be of help to you, if you need it. Okay, I'll come back, or I'm unlikely to stay here for long. Eva, I will depart after speaking to Simon with or without him. I'll probably go with the first one. Okay, I'll come back. So, okay, we have this little map here, and the red parts on the map seem to be points of interest. So we have the shelter, Laura Revel's house. We have the town hall. We have town theater. We have Crucible Mansion of Maria Cana, Victor Kane's daughter. Mysterious Maria, Victor Kane's daughter, has been expecting my arrival for several days. She seems to know more about me than I do. The Crucible, the mansion of Victor Kane, Simon Kane's brother. Crucible, the mansion of Georgi Kane, Simon Kane's brother. Simon Kane, the man of improper longevity, is waiting for me here. I hope he sympathizes with my request. I only need a living evidence of the impossible. And then the cathedral. And then down here, the mansion called the Stillwater belongs to a single girl called Eva Yan. An accidental midnight encounter provided me with a lovely companion and temporary lodging. So this is where I am now, and I would have to go to first speak with I think Georgi, she said, then Maria, and then Victor, the youngest of the Canes, then go talk to Simon Kane himself. So we're gonna go about that and actually talk to first Georgi. This game is definitely, seems so far not a very eventful game. It's a game that you have to take your time with and really, I guess pay attention to. I'm gonna do a hard save here. Actually, is there a quick save option? Let's go into controls. If there's any quick save. F5 and quick load is F8. So we're gonna do some quick saving here. Boom. All right. So we're gonna get out of this house. She's very kind, but I wanna. What? What are you? Tragedian. Venerable Bachelor. Please be so kind as to linger for a minute. This conversation won't take too much of your time, especially since time stops during dialogues, at least during the important ones, and our dialogue is extremely important. You need to know how to play after all, don't you? Alright, so let's see, we're doing some fourth wall breaking. Alright, we got some Hideo Kojima stuff going on here. Let's see. Play. What are you talking about, Mask Man? I'm neither a gambler nor an actor. Or who are you, or some other time-con stranger? Let's see. We'll go with the first option. Of course you aren't. You are a living, breathing man, as is evident from your conditions and statuses. You experience hunger, thirst, and fatigue. You suffer from pain, wounds, and diseases. You're so lifelike. You have to eat, drink, sleep, and rest, and to make mistakes. The latter being the most definitive proof of my human nature. Wouldn't you agree? Or no, I don't, not me. I'll go with the first one. If I may, I would like to point out just how important it is to keep an eye on your condition. If you get dizzy or unnaturally sluggish, do have it checked up. Vital processes tend to run faster during emergencies than in everyday life. I knew a person who died of stress but was diagnosed with starvation. It happens. I can testify to that as a doctor, or cut with the silliness, good sir, I can take care of myself. I'm gonna go with the first one. Need I remind a wise man like you of the fact that hunger is sated with food. Food can be found in shops, and shops can be found in ordinary houses that are marked with specific signs. Sleep, however, is more complicated. People only sleep in beds and only in private residences around here. I am sorry, but that's just how our world is. Yes, the world is unjust. And quite silly, if you forgive me for saying so. Speaking of commerce, different shops sell similar items at different prices. Make sure you don't get cheated. People can People can be quite brazen around here. You can also barter with the folk out in the street. Some things may be nothing more than trinkets to you, but others would be willing to part with their life's blood for them. Blood? You're a bore, mate. Let me through. I wanna actually follow the line of thought. There's a lot of funny little dialogue options I could choose, but I want to see what these characters really have to say, what they think, because I know depending on your relationship with certain people, it could change certain things. I'm not too well versed in what those things can do. All I know is that for some events, like for quests and stuff, you can actually, somebody might die who might be critical to certain events in the story due to your actions or inactions in the quest lines. So I'm trying my best to see what I can get out of this experience. So we're going to continue reading what Tragedian's saying. Yes, blood. It's not my place to lecture you, but if following your Hippocratic oath you ever consider easing someone's pain, feel free to just approach them with a suitable drug. You will see their pain receding before your very eyes. The sick fall asleep when they're close to recovery, don't they? Or when they're close to their ultimate rest. Still, helping the hopeless will grant you a good reputation. You will be seen as a benefactor willing to part with a precious sleeping draught or a painkiller for a simple bystander. Anything else? No, not yet. Show me the way to Simon's house. Turn left now, then walk along the alley. You will see a cathedral and 3 mansions across Bridge Square. Simon lives in the one that is closest to the river. Thank you. So this guy seemed to be very nice. He wanted to talk to me. Got a little statue here, and it talks. It's moving. Executor. Halt. I'm going to have to teach you about the technicalities of setting. Of the setting. The time and the place. It's not essential, but that's just how it is. The actor has to be prepared before he goes on stage, or else he'll fall down the aisle or stumble upon the prompt box. That would look mighty silly, wouldn't you agree? Let's see. Well, our options are speak, I'm listening, who are you, and you're going to have to teach me. Aren't you forgetting your manners? Let's see. I'll go with the first one. Time flies by. It can't be stopped or turned back. Night follows days, which are then followed by nights. Things happen without any regard for whether you're there to witness them. Don't expect anyone to wait for you. Most events can be missed. And so it would make sense for you to visit the places that you care about regularly. You will find a people that will play major roles in your fate there. They stand out from the common folk. The rest are just a crowd shot, a background, a bunch of extras, as it has always been. Indeed, still, it's best to avoid hasty judgment. It's a paradox, you see. Don't try to care too much for the lives of these bound to stand out people, and don't be too dismissive of the silent crowd. Both extremes will end in tragedy. Why is that? The world cares for your reputation, a fine and crucial instrument. Your reputation changes the world you see, for it is a mirror, wouldn't you agree? And so a bad reputation can get you into a lot of trouble. For example, oh, need I describe? You've got vivid imagination. You've got vivid imagination. Everything changes from mystical aspects to mundane things like the people you need treating you badly. How many enemies you've got, how high the prices rise, how bad your dreams are. Lots of things. A sorry prospect. So how do I maintain my reputation? Really? How is that even a question? Same as anywhere. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not lie. Thou shalt not betray. Do not steal. Do not covet. Do not be an asshole. Do not get caught. The rules are the same everywhere. A truly selfless deed, like risking something for thy neighbor or even a person who lives quite far away, can help in a dire situation. I see. Really? Good for you then. As for me, I can't see anything in this mask. I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, don't get too worked up about human lives, and don't put too much stock into another's words, mine included. He who trusts everyone is asking to be deceived. Interesting stuff so far. The game seems to follow this philosophical idea of actors and people playing too much into a role, into a part, listening to too much, so I do find this so far to be interesting, but I can see this game is definitely going to be a slow experience, which I'm fine with so far. It's a lot of talking. We'll see what the actual gameplay is. So let's see. We got a few responses to choose from. Definitely, Yes, he who trusts no one is deluded. I know that from experience. Speaking of trust, where does Simon Kane reside? I would be most thankful if you show me the way. I say, I'll go with the second one. Alright, so I'm a quick save after talking to these two fellows, very happy fellows. This guy is on the box art of the second game. I think the second game is like a remake slash reboot slash remaster of this game. It touches upon a little bit of all three. So we got the map here. This is where I am right now. And then we got these different buildings. And of course that. So we got the background actors. We got the foreground actors, you know. Can I just walk into anyone's house? No, I can't go in there. Would be pretty interesting. Can I run? Oh. Tap, get my fisticuffs up. Oh, look at that. I don't know if I can run though. I think this is my fastest speed. So let's see. I see a guy over there walking. I want to go talk to him. But first, oh, is that somebody crouching? Oh yeah, there's a couple of people by the fire. Is there a way to get in? I don't see a way. It's like all gated off. I don't see like an entrance nearby. I'm gonna see if there's a run button. Is there a run button? If not, then we're gonna be going this pace. This torch F. Space, jump, yeah. Plague finder. Sneak. Left shift, right control, left shoulder. There is no run. So this is the fastest pace we can go. So as I said before, people who played this game have said this game is very slow and tedious and can be very painful to play. But the story is fantastic from what people say. Young man, good morals and luck are a great help in managing a small community without resorting to violence. Personal standing can work wonders. What do you mean? I like our town. We're all one big family, but sometimes I get the feeling that we're all controlled by an unseen power, our actions but fiction. It's quite possible. So there wasn't much there, but yeah, it's an interesting idea of how life works. And then we got this guy over here. What you gotta say? Anything I could do for you? Let's see. We have a few things we could say. I'd be much obliged if you help me learn. I don't need that. I don't know what this means. Two massive buildings in the eastern part of Earth. The termitary marks the district's border. Beyond that, there is only the abattoir. And then the steppe itself. People do not belong there. Why? Well, they just don't. It's not a people place. But someone has to work there, right? Some folk do. The steppe people, the butchers. That's way outside of your area of expertise, believe me. That was intriguing, my good man. The dialogue is interesting. I know this game is translated from Russian, so it's definitely there is some barrier there when it comes to the language behind the game, but I think so far it's pretty charming. Now we got this guy. Wait, we already talked to this guy, didn't we? Yeah. We're gonna stop talking. Oh, okay. We're gonna just say the same things I did. Okay. I thought I already talked. No, it's the same model. It's the same character. So I guess some of these guys are just repeats. So this is the cathedral, I believe. It's a very interesting architecture for a cathedral. It has weird spider legs. Very interesting design. Okay, so we're gonna go because we have to talk to what? We're gonna talk to Georgi first, then Mary or Maria, and then Victor. What the heck is that? What? Who makes buildings that shape? I don't know. We're gonna go ahead here. I think this would be where Georgi is, right? I believe so. All right, we're in here now. We got a little plant. Those are thick flowers, I gotta say. All right, let's see. Are you Georgi?
Few people know death. We only endure it, usually from determination, and even from stupidity and custom.
So it seems that some of these characters have things to say, but the things they're saying doesn't match up with the dialogue. I have to read it out for you guys. And don't worry, I'm the best narrator. You've been hearing me for a little while now. I do not stumble on my words, nor do I stutter. So let's continue. Most venerable doctor, it is with great impatience that we have been expecting you. You need not delve into the minutiae of your business with us, since our family is well acquainted with your scholarly work. We are also quite aware of the difficulties you are experiencing and well prepared to do our utmost to support you. It hurts me all the more to be the one to inform you that Simon, my consanguineous brother, the creator, keeper, and embodiment of all that surrounds us, has been murdered. So the tables have turned. Let's see, what can we say? I can't believe it. It cannot be. Damn it, why did it have to happen just before I arrived? Right, as I found the chance to prevail. Or who did it? So, what can we say? I'll go with the second one. Precisely. Why did it have to happen just before your arrival? Are you asking yourself the same question? I hope you don't see any connection between my arrival and the murder. In fact, I do see a connection. However, do not mistake it for a thought that it was you who murdered him. What do you know? My brother was murdered last night under the strangest of circumstances, but for all the mystery surrounding his death, I'd rather eschew the notion that his departure was connected with whoever had visited Simon that evening. The visitor is a man of laudable rectitude and an old friend of our family. There are witnesses to testify that he and Simon did nothing but converse. Who is the visitor? Someone you know quite well. The man who my brother saw last night was your colleague, Isidore Barak. Was he not the Was he not the two does? Ah man, was he not the very person to advise you to come here as well? I have no idea. I'm assuming yes. Isidore has done more than he thinks. I have a lingering feeling that time itself is using uncontestable powers to further its own intentions. What do you think? I'm no fatalist, or categories like time, nature, and fate deprive man of responsibility for what goes on around him. I was taught to avoid this worldview. I'll go with that. It could be that my mind is clouded by sorrow, but I cannot escape the feeling that your arrival was no coincidence. Your choice was made for you, my dear doctor. Let us not blame fate for it. Isidore wrote to you without making us aware. He took a risk that could have displeased our family. Really? Or why do you speak the word fate with such disgust? I prefer the word time, in a fatalistic sense of the notion, of course. So Simon wasn't aware I would come. Even though we were uncertain of when you would arrive, my brother was looking forward to meeting you. The tragedy may have been a consequence of the actions he took in preparation for your arrival. Someone has taken a powerful piece from the chessboard, a piece upon which your position here depended. It is doubly regrettable that Simon was playing on your side. So you presume the queen knew of the blow and sacrificed herself for a pawn. But why? To grant you victory over death. Was it not your ultimate aspiration? To help you, Simon seems to have played a very dangerous game with fate itself. He went out of his way to provide you with a body of evidence. What did he do? It is of no importance to me what exactly he did. He took another leap for the stars and paid a terrible price for it. I repeat, he was murdered. The subject of importance here is the identity of the murderer. Everything has gone to rack and ruin. I wish I could take vengeance upon the person who ripped the life from this man. Do you want to help us, Doctor? Find the murderer for us. My brother Victor, who is in the wing next door, would share some of his thoughts on the matter. Help us, and the reward will not disappoint you. Indeed, it seems there are too many coincidences. Your brother's murder can just as well be called the murder of Bachelor Dankovsky. I will help you in every way I can. I am convinced that if there is anyone at all that can help us solve this puzzle, then it is you. The mission calls for someone as astute and inventive as yourself. If Isidore was an instrument of fate, then Simon's murder is a message that fate intended for you personally. Do not think I am inclined to blame you for that. I am not. How do you plan to look for the murderer? We will take our own measures. The only thing I expect from you is to be yourself. Do only what you think is required. Whatever you find out, whatever you do, whatever your day turns into, everything is a clue to the solution of this puzzle. I repeat, everything that is happening here is happening on your account. You have my sympathy. So, we're gonna now talk to, I guess the brother, Victor. So, it turns out that, what it says here, Simon is dead. His brother, Georgi, is preparing to take the empty throne of the clan's leader. The Canes are obsessed with the idea of finding the murderer. They don't seem to be driven by rancor, but rather by desire to uncover a memory, or mystery. I am the worst reader. But yeah, so it seems like this is going to be me solving this mystery of who murdered Simon Kane. So we're going to go to Victor next, then we're going to go to Maria. That guy's face was something. All right, we're gonna get out of here. I don't think there's anything for me to investigate in here, at least as of right now. So we're gonna go to Victor. The entrance is over here. And how am I gonna get to that house? Oh, it's flipped the other way. Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's get in here. We're gonna talk to Victor. What is this little sculpture? Can't really analyze it, but oh, it's a person upside down. Interesting. Very homely. Oh, that's the same portrait from before. I don't know who that is. Might be Maria or the wife of Simon. All right.
I fear that Simon's death is a symbolic event.
The famous Dr. Dengolski. Your arrival is great honor for us. Victor Kane is at your service. Daniel Dengolski at yours. I just changed his name. I mean, not his name. His accent from before. I'll continue with it if it's not annoying. I foresee that the things that have become ordinary for us will probably make you feel uncomfortable and disturbed. I would like to compensate for that impression. You know, our small community has fallen out of the loop. Time leaves us behind. What do you mean? I mean the traditions. Games that we play with passion will most likely be of no interest to you. The people you meet here may seem eccentric, naive, or even somewhat deranged. Please take it easy on us. Don't judge us too strictly. I will do my best not to disappoint you. Did I talk to him again? I did not mean to... Oh, how can I help you? Georgi has told me everything, which is to say he told me very little, but it was enough to astound me. He maintains that you can provide a more detailed account. So you have agreed to help us? I have. May I ask why? The killer's goals seem to align astonishingly well with the goals of those who've been waging war against my work for years. That's one of the options. I thought just one big paragraph for a second. We share a tragedy. I want to exact vengeance upon the one that robbed me in my work of a future. And I want to solve a puzzle. I even like having so little information. It's a challenge to my intellect. I'm gonna go with the first one. I'm prepared to answer any questions you may have. When was Simon last seen? He sent Isidore home. Then an hour later, he came to this hall to see us. He announced his plans to withdraw to the Focus and receive no one. He told us not to approach the Focus and to fast for a week, partaking of neither meat nor water. Then in the morning, he was found dead. What should we say? Could he have been poisoned? No. He hadn't eaten or drunk anything for several days, and prior to that, he'd only drunk wine from the old household stock. He would open the bottles himself. What made him take such precautions? I've never really thought about it, indeed. I just combined those two sentences. I've never really thought about it, indeed. But were they precautious at all? He was always conducting experiments on himself, not only on his body, but on his time, his language, his way of thinking, even his fate. Could his death have been the outcome of one such experiments? I think between me and you, this is precisely what my brother Georgi fears. I could say nothing more about that. How was the body discovered? The servants discovered him in the morning, and the room had been ransacked. Everything that was breakable had been broken. His disfigured, contorted body bore signs of terrible suffering. His neck was twisted, his spine broken, I think. No one has touched the body. It is currently inside the focus and will remain there for the prescribed amount of time. Do you suspect someone? No. All I know is that Isidore was with him that evening. No one can enter the focus against Simon's will. Well, perhaps a higher being could, but no one else. Could the murderer have already been waiting for Simon there? No, you have no concept of what the focus is. Entering it's like entering someone else's mind, or a drawn picture, if you will. It's impossible. Well, Simon did somehow, didn't he? He could perform far more impressive feats. There's a reason why the whole town revered him. Alright, so how can I help you? Just take a look around. Trust your intuition. Do whatever you like. Speak to whoever you feel the need to. Look for the murderer, doctor, and you will find them. Keep looking to the last breath. I'm sure your rational thinking will help you. So Isidore is the only lead. How can I find him? I'll show you, but you must be careful. Simon's murderer, whoever they are, could not be an ordinary person. I can't imagine them even being a person. I fear it could only be fate, wearing the guise of a mysterious monster. I don't believe in fate. So we have been given this location to investigate. This is where Isidore Barak lives, the man that had brought me to this remote place. He is the last person that saw Simon Kane alive. So we got a little conspiracy on our hands. So we're all the way over here. We have to go all the way over there to talk to this guy. So we're going to be going through this town. So there's a nice little open world here for us to explore. So I'm very excited to walk very slowly to the destination we need to be. But before we do so, I'm going to go talk to Maria. Oh, man. Okay. So we're going to see if this confirms my theory. If that person in this portrait is Maria or somebody completely different. It's a simple portrait. See, that's another portrait of a different person. So I don't know if these are historical figures in this world or whatnot. I can't open that. Okay. I don't know if those are historical figures or whatnot in this world or actual people in this family, the Canes. So we're going to find out soon enough if any of them resemble this Maria we're about to speak to. Man, this game is definitely very heavy on a dialogue. More broken mirrors. Very interesting painting. It looks to be a woman with no shirt lying on the ground. I hope that's her hair, not a pool of blood. I don't know what the heck that is supposed to be. Got plates. And this is a bed. I think can we sleep in any bed? Yeah, we could sleep in any bed. It's already 7:30 in this game world. We've been here for an hour and a half. Alright, so let's see. So you don't look like any person.
Feverish. What could it be?
That voice acting's great. Wait, I want to leave and come back. I want to see if you'll say something else.
What can it be?
No, it's the same thing, but it's just her delivery is hilarious. I'm feverish. What can it be? That's great. All right, let's actually speak to her.
The Sabarovs' wait is over. They've always wanted an heir.
All right, so you resemble an adventurer rather than a doctor. Let's see. How is it that you know me? Who are you? I am an adventurer. Appearances can be deceiving. We'll go with this first one. How is it that you know me? I saw you in a dream. Don't flatter yourself. My desires have nothing to do with that. I simply saw you take us all by the throat. What else did you see in that dream? I tell you when I think I could trust you. I hope that happens soon.
Great souls are not those who have fewer passions and more virtues than the common, but those only who have greater designs.
Okay, so, interesting things you have to say there. So let's see. Now listen closely. The time for collusion, secrets, and alliances has come. I'm going to ask something of you. I am not used to that. I'm used to holding the reins, but you are not harnessed, so it would be unacceptable to address you in this manner. I find solace in the fact that my request will be welcome with you. It fits the style of your venture. Alright. I'm not an adventurer. My job is no venture. I hope it never becomes one. Or, yes, you better be polite. I don't take kindly to orders. I am a creature of liberty. Oh my god. This dialogue is amazing. Alright. I will go with the second one because it's funny. I apologize if my words come across as mangled and silly. I am truly not used to asking, but the nature of my request demands complete and selfless humility. Just imagine me begging and kneeling, and believe me, I do feel that way. No need to kneel. What did you want to talk about? I kneel myself before a lady as charming as you. Oh, I don't want to say that, but I actually do want to say it, but I'm not going to. That'd be funny as hell, though, but I'm going to do the no need to kneel. Today's death was the first, but it won't be the last. Simon has opened a score of irreplaceable victims. Soon their number will multiply. I beg you to preserve the lives of several people when the lines of their fortune cross yours. Before any of them dies, there will be a moment when you will be able to intervene. I know that for a fact. Who are these people? That doesn't matter. What was destined to happen will happen. You can be whatever you want to be, but not a coward choosing to hear no evil and run away from reality. I will give you a list of those I know. These people are bound to you. Bound? There is a tight spring of power within each of these people. Each of them can break the routine of human existence and become something greater. They are standing on the verge of their humanity, gazing into the realm where they could serve a different, higher purpose without even knowing it. Moreover, they are bound to make the leap in one way or another. That's why we call them simply the bound. But how is their fate? Bound to mine? Did you say my victory depended on them? How? I don't know. I'm not a mistress yet. The future's not as clear to me as I would prefer, but I can feel the present. I can already distinguish a dubious guess from the pulse of the precise knowledge devoid of words and images. These people are bound to you. Your lives are connected. I wouldn't have asked you to take care of them otherwise. Are you a clairvoyant or something? Or, you sound delusional. I'm sorry, but your uncle's death has messed with your head. You need to come to your senses. Oh my god, that's amazing. Let's see. I am probably not going to say that dialogue, but I'll go with, are you a clairvoyant or something? We'll be a little skeptical, but we won't be too abrasive and, antagonistic. We'll try to go along with what some of these people are saying, so I'm not going to be rude or sarcastic unless I find something that's just, I don't know, that speaks to me, and I'll say it. I'm not going to read out all my dialogue options every time, because I know that's going to get very annoying, given that you probably want to see what's going to happen next, or whatever, but I don't want to just skip over some of the things that these people are saying, so I'm going to try to go faster with the dialogue these characters are saying, but I have a feeling that this game's going to be a lot of talking. So there's probably not going to be a lot of stuff happening, not as of right now. So you could just put this in the background and just sit back and relax and do something. This is going to be a nice little audio book for you. I'll try my best not to stumble in my words, but I am horrible reading aloud. So I'll try my best. And I'm not going to do a voice or a specific accent or anything for every character unless I just feel just obligated to do so, or I don't know. Just sit back and listen. Ah, yes, you haven't been told, have you? It didn't even cross my mind that someone may be unaware of my abilities. No one here dares doubt them, for they are evident. Yes, the mistress of every ruling house possesses special abilities. I am learning to see the future and transform the present. Let's see, what should I say? This fact offers your words a different degree of authenticity. Or forgive me, but I don't believe in this type of phenomenon. So I'm going to go with the first one, as I said before. I'm going to try to go along with what these people are saying. Try not to be too antagonistic with what they're saying. At least not as of right now. Will you comply with my request? Will you save the lives of the people I named to you? Answer me before going back to Eva. Eva was the girl early on who gave me hospitality. Let's see. All right, if it's truly within my power, I'll do my best to save their lives. Okay, so these are the different people on the list. Eva seems to be one of these people on the list. Okay, interesting. These are actual images of people. Given that this game is a Russian game, these are Russian people. and you could definitely tell with the way they look. They look pretty Russian to me. So Georgi Kane, that's one of the guys I talked to. Victor as well. I spoke with him. Andres Stamatin, Peter Stamatin, Maria Kana, Eva Yan, and Mark Immortal. All right, interesting. So whatever happens, these people must live. Their fates are bound to mine. They may well hold the keys to my victory in their hands. So I have to make sure that every single person on this list has to survive, whatever that entails. So, so we have our quests here. So we have today's quest, which is in pursuit of a killer to find out who killed the immortal Simon Kane. The dead man's own family may not want it more than I do. I have an abiding desire to punish the murderer, to eradicate them, no matter if they were acting on their own account or at the behest of the powers that be. Whoever they were, they picked the moment far too well. My gentle associate, my selfless advisor, Isidore Barak, was the last person to see Simon Kane alive. If it wasn't for Barak's guidance, I never would have come to the backwoods domain. All the more reason to start my pursuit with him. So, we're going to go all the way across town, from here all the way to where Barak lives. So this is going to be a very fun journey with how fast or how slow I walk in this game. But maybe we'll find some interesting people to talk to along the way. And then we got some of these houses and stuff and buildings that we can enter. So I'll try to see if there's any point of interest in people I may want to speak to along the way. But yeah, this seems to be so far a very interesting game. Oh, these guys are back. I guess we're gonna talk to our old friends. You're a tragedian, right? Yeah. There is something in particular we feel the urge to warn you about. When you speak to the bound, please choose your words carefully. Do not worry, you will easily be able to make out what kind of a person is standing before you, an observant man that you are. So use that skill when dealing with the bound. Some of them are indeed worth insulting, whereas others need to be treated with utmost respect. I have no idea what you're talking about. Every line you utter will have consequences. News spreads rapidly around here. If you spoil your reputation in one place, you'll have to reap what you have to reap what you've sown in another. Restore your good name in the south, and you will receive a warmer welcome in the north. They will heed every word you say, and you will be rewarded. Not by means of money, I hope. A handful of money. It's not a dialogue fee, don't get me wrong. Never refuse to take small sums of money from the bound. That would not belittle you in any fashion, but would rather demonstrate that you appreciate the local customs. Alright, I'll keep local customs in mind. So we're going to talk to this other guy too over here. This masked dude, or I guess they're both masked dudes. This town is small and rather unexceptional, isn't it? But there are all kinds of people here, the simple folk and the more remarkable ones. The former will tell you more they know, the latter will way more than they're ever going to let out. Keep a close eye on them, your victory depends on it. Remarkable. So there are 20-something of them, easily distinguished by their lodgings or their presence. They're called many names: the bound, the fated, the adherents, the gobles, Tagler, the town circle. Simon preferred their company to any other. Why? Because it is that they will decide the fate of this town. Don't be distracted by the fact that some of them look insignificant or disreputable. They will earn their worth. You just give them time. They're the most important joints of the town. Why are you telling me all this? Each day, one of them would try death by the tooth. Each would put their life at risk, and each one that dies is important. Some of them may take the keys to victory to the grave. Mind that the keys are yours while the grave is theirs. Others will do the opposite. Don't waste your chance to condemn someone who may get in your way. How do you know what is helpful and what gets in the way? Okay, alright. Dropping you more hints would be cheating. Shutting up now. Allow me to conclude then. Each bound you save will influence the finale of your adventure. Each of them has their own goals and motives. It may so happen that those who seek a different ending survive, and then, well, you've been warned. Okay, I'll take that into account, and we'll be careful. So, it seems like that this game has probably a bunch of different endings and different ways I'm going to approach the situations that may arise. So, this is going to be very interesting. I have no idea what to expect. How do I look at that list again? Do I have it somewhere other? I don't know how to look at the list of the people I'm supposed to make sure stay alive. I'm pressing all these buttons on my keyboard. I don't. Whatever. We'll. It doesn't matter. Okay. So we'll see. So we're gonna go. Yeah, that weird building is there. So I'm guessing. I talked to somebody earlier in the game. They said there's 2 buildings. Yeah, the abattoir, and is that it? The railway station. Okay. So the abattoir is one of them, and this is probably the other one that like is at the end of the world or whatever. That's what they said. So I have a part to play in all this little game. And as I said, this in the title of this stream, Eastern Europe Simulator. This game was made by Russians, and this game is it's about like hopelessness and all that, and like just different dark experiences. So if you have an aversion towards deep and possibly what do you call it, triggering themes, this game may not be for you. And also this is very slow as well, so if you're not in the mood for something that's slow paced, then I probably wouldn't stick around, because I have no idea what to expect either, to be honest with you. But I am open-minded to what may occur. This place is very foggy. It doesn't seem like this game is horror. I think the eeriness of it. I think the eeriness of this comes from just the setting itself and the tone of the game, rather than any overt horror in the game itself. But I'm sure there are some elements of horror, because it seems like that with just the content alone will be horrific to some. But yeah, this is the fastest I could walk, by the way. I can't go any faster than this. So I'm gonna have to just, okay, that popped in again, that weird building. I have no idea what that is. But yeah, I have no idea what to expect with this game. As I said before, all I know is that the story is praised. It's just the gameplay is not really gamey. That brings into a good discussion, actually, a good talking point about, do video games need to be fun, or do they need to be entertaining to, be effective for the medium? And I think no. But at the same time, I prefer games to be fun and gamey. So, because with video games, you see that a lot of them, especially PlayStation exclusive games, have really been taking this idea that cinematic games are more palatable for people, right? When in reality, video games should be more video games than cinematic experiences, which is not to say that those cinematic games, those AAA cinematic games or PlayStation exclusives are bad games by any means, because some of them are my favorite games of all time, like the Last of Us games. I love both of them. Part 2 is my favorite. The God of War, the recent God of War games and all that. And like, you have all these games that are like, they try to combine like film style presentation with fun gameplay, but nothing crazy, so a lot of these games nowadays tend to really take like that in mind for the game making process, and I think that's an interesting like way to approach games, but I think that's setting a bad precedent, because a lot of the times you see nowadays that games are trying to be more cinematic, which is not a bad thing. I think it's okay to try to have that in your games, but when you're trying to have your game be a movie, then that's not a video game no more, right? You're just making a movie, and when you're taking away player agency to make your movie, I think it's like you should have just made a CG film in the first place if you really wanted to do what you're doing, which obviously there are exceptions to the rule, or there are things that combine gamey with cinematic really well, like for example the Metal Gear games. I think they do a really good job at combining the cinematic presentation while also making it feel like you can only experience those games as games. I don't think Metal Gear can work as well as it does in a video game in film form, because of just like the tension you get from a game like that. Like in between all the cinematic moments is like that gameplay cannot really be translated well into a film. And I think games like this is like you can only experience as a game because like of how the very nature of it, right? All right, who's this guy? It's a merchant, right? It doesn't give. Oh, if I hover over it, it tells me what it is. Painkiller rather than sleeping drought. Restores a small amount of health. Good for restoring strength during sleep. Okay, what's that? Alpha tablets. An outdated immunity booster, only useful in very large doses that cause serious health damage. But yeah, as I was saying, is like, do video games really need to be fun? And I'm like, I don't think that's necessarily the case. I just think that they need to be able to use. They need to use their medium in a way that other mediums can't replicate. And I think, like, for example, let's say The Last of Us. There's a whole HBO show, and if you played the game, the show is kind of redundant, right? You don't really need to watch the show. I mean, the show does deviate in some parts. Episode 3 is probably my favorite episode. I've only watched up to episode 3, but episode 1 and 2 were just basically carbon copies of the games, like with like exact dialogue and all that, and like it looks pretty much like the games, but it's just you don't have agency behind what happens and stuff. But the show is just as effective as the game if you are not a gamer, right? But if you've already played the game, then it's like you rather play the game for the most part. I'd say that's the general consensus. All right, who's this dude? Oh, we got 2 dudes. Oh, 4 dudes up in here. Oh, let's talk to you first. Oh, you don't want to talk. What are you staring at? Oh, you good, bro? What are you looking at? You also have. Oh no, that's not a broken mirror. That's another like landscape thing. And then you got butterflies, landscape portraits. Okay, what is up with you guys? You want to talk? You have like the same model. Are you guys twins? I don't know what's going on here. Oh, who are you?
They say Ripper was caught. Does he really cut people?
So I think this is one of the people that I have to make sure is like that stays alive. So let's see. She says, "You are the person that came to Maria Cana in a dream. I recognize you straight away. My name is Lara Ravel, and this is the shelter. You are always welcome here. My name is Daniil Derkovsky. Let's be friends now. I prefer being friends with everyone. You always have guests, but your face looks sad. Well, yes, I'm the mistress of this house after all. That doesn't mean I'm a mistress, mind you, not with a capital M. I won't ever become one, but I can also serve people to the best of my ability." Who are you talking about? Everyone who sits at this table, see? They are all trying to be mysterious, but in reality, every action we take is mere consequences of a deep wound. Our words are like the drops of blood seeping from it. Sorrow is what opens people up fully. You are a poet. I'm just in a melancholic mood. We are way too used to playing the game of a tragic predictions. I'm trying to arrange everything back to order. You're quite successful in doing that.
It's nice to see you.
I know you're a doctor, a wonderful one at that. A celebrity medic. Everyone in our small town knew that a famous doctor was coming here. I'm very glad you really have, because I want you to do a certain good thing. Can I ask a favor of you? Please do. A few years ago, the child death rate went through the roof here. 6 people died in a week. 10 or so came down with a serious illness. It made us worried, but unfortunately we couldn't find the cause straight away back then. In the end, it turned out that children were dying because of a game. What in the world? What kind of a game kills children? They were playing... what did they call it? Well, it was some kind of medical game. They were stealing medicine from the adults and making some diabolical mixture out of it. They then healed each other with it. Back then, the game just faded into obscurity, but now I've heard they were contemplating doing it again. Someone has already been poisoned. But what can I do? I'm no poisoning specialist. I can do an examination, of course, but... No, it's much simpler. There's a house somewhere in the town, either abandoned or just unoccupied. That's where they play hospital. That's where they store their horrible mixtures. Please use your standing and your celebrity name to put an end to this game. Kapela Olguminski's daughter believes that the house will be unlocked today. I'll do my best, of course. How can I find the house? Capella mentioned it's next to one of the ruins. My friend couldn't hear them properly. Have you seen those stone stairways to heaven? I think you might even be able to see the house you're looking for from Ava Jan's window. But most importantly, it should be unlocked. Do people around here ever leave their doors unlocked? In exceptional cases or emergencies, yes, we do. But generally, houses are supposed to be locked up because they're occupied by several families. People aren't that scared of losing their own belongings, but they care about their neighbors. And now that everyone's so afraid of the man-eater, of course everything's locked. In that case, it won't be too hard to find. Interesting. So we got to look for, I guess, a house where kids play, and they got like
virtue,
drugs.
of fear.
Yeah, whatever you said. But yeah, definitely going back to the conversation before. It's like there's different flavors of games, right? You got games that are gamey, games that are more cinematic, games that are combination, and you got games that don't feel like games, are more audiovisual interactive experiences. Some of them are barely interactive at all, you know. So it's like, what really defines a video game, really, and how can we really talk about this medium in a way that doesn't seem like it's derivative of its older brother, cinema? And cinema, even when it was first like come into play in the early 1900s, and all cinema just looked like a knockoff version of other pieces of like art forms, like literature and all that. It's like, what makes film different? And back in the day, it wasn't really much of a distinction, right? It was just people with really good performances like playing out things that have already been written in novels. But then you got things with like Citizen Kane and like Casablanca that really opened people's eyes to what cinema could really be. In video games, gamers can be like, oh, we have this as a Citizen Kane, this is a Casablanca, but we don't have anything in the cultural zeitgeist that really is like, yeah, this game is the defining thing of what a video game can be. Because we got games that are popular. Yeah, we know, everybody knows at least of like Tomb Raider or Call of Duty, Halo. Those are big games, right? But those games like don't really I'd say, like, people wouldn't use that as an example of what games can really achieve. It's like, yeah, these are fun games, these are great games. Halo series, at least the Bungie era, some of my favorite games, right? But it's like, those games, like, those aren't like things you can exclusively do in a game form. So it's like, what can you use as an example of this thing cannot be translated whatsoever to any other medium? This excels as a video game, right? And then with experiences like this, you would have a hard time finding something like this in a video game. I mean, in a film. Maybe you can, since this is a very dialogue driven, dark tone Russian game, you could maybe like compare it to a Tarkovsky film or something, right? But so far, this game isn't really a game, but at the same time, it feels like I can't really experience this in a different like medium, except for maybe a book, because there's a lot of dialogue and it's very slow. But if I read this as a book, I probably already would have fallen asleep already. I would not lie. Let's see. So we just talked to this woman. So let's see what she's saying. My heart is crying for my poor children. How are my dearest doing? Is everything all right? Oh, women's share is hard. Let's see. Would you kindly mend my clothes, my dear? You got a curious town here. I've never expected to see something like this in such a remote place. Man, share is harder. Everything will be fine. This is where the if you say this part, you are tone deaf. Okay, let's see. We'll probably say you got a curious town here. We'll go with that. Everyone's tired of the endless construction work. We want some quiet. Is there a lot of construction going on? Not a lot, but I cannot shrug away the feeling that the world is changing all too quickly. The rulers invite architects from the capital, and they turn everything upside down. It's fun for the children, but a torment to us. I'm sorry to hear that. All right, so didn't get much out of that conversation there, but we learned that there are architects and stuff, and people are doing construction. Let's see where we're at on the map. Where's the cursor? We're over here. Okay, so we have this building we go to, and then there's this one down here, Town Hall, that's close by. We go down Town Theater and the Lump or whatever. Olgimsky's mansion, home to Big Vlad and Cabela. So we could go there, because I think one of the people we talked to mentioned Cabela and Uncle Minsky's mansion, so we can make our way down and try to go to Town Hall and the Town Theater on our way. Explore the town a little more and see what's up. So like, that's a interesting looking building that has defined the laws of physics and gravity. Interesting. Now imagine you walked outside of real life, you saw a building demolished and it looked like that. It's like, what? A lot of these buildings in this game seem very samey, but given that this is an Eastern European game, that's what things look like in real life in Eastern Europe. So it's not very what do you call it? It's not deviating from reality too much, except for the part that there's people with magic in this world. But you can make the argument that magic does exist. I personally don't believe it does, but hey, you never know, right? The world is pretty wild. There's nobody in here, so we didn't need to come in here. This was the town square. We could go to the town theater. Let's see, there's kids playing around. Maybe you could tell me where that house is. Kids in these older games don't look like kids. They look like grown people just shrunken down. Wow, that's startling. What's wrong with you? Why would I make a trade with all these people? Well, you know, I'm leaving the town soon. Do you know the train schedule? Could you point me to the way to the Crude Sprawl? Tell me about the theater. Tell me about blah, 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 blah. What's Crude Sprawl? Oh, it's the outskirts of town by the cemetery and the abattoir. If you're going past it kindly, or kind of diagonally, you know, you'll get to the Rotten Field. What's the Rotten Field? It's where they bury the bull's bones. The place is covered with fur instead of grass, and it's all bones. Bones, bones underground. Bones and horns. Yeah? I see. Alright, so, let's see. What we got? Alright. Okay. My guy walking. Look at that. Look how he walking. I don't know if he drunk or something, or he just chill like that. Alright, let me talk to you. Oh, how ferocious Mother Nature is. For 'tis her wrath that has to be withstood. Oh, friend, if only I could wet my whistle, I'd gladly give you anything on earth in exchange for a gulp of chilly spring water. How about we barter? You'll have your water and I'll have bandages. This is my only... Wait. That's that guy's thing. This is my inventory. Water. You give me bandages? How does this work? Wait. Here. Then you give me that? V. Did I do the trade? You give me that? Actually, I want my water back. Bruh. Give me your bandages. How do I... Bruh, did you really take my... Did you... What? How do I get my stuff? Bruh. I want my water back. I think I need a drink. I think I gotta... It's a survival game, right? I gotta drink water. I'm probably not gonna be very good at this game. Honestly, I don't know. This is very interesting. Okay. There's so much to do. It's kind of intimidating. And plus the walking speed does not help. Alright, Lump Ogimski's mansion. Home to Big Vlad and Cabela. We're gonna go there. But yeah, this so far, this is like just... I'm not... So we're in the early stages of the game. I know this game, I think, is like kind of long. It's like 20 hours long, whatever, to like beat it for your first playthrough or whatever. And like, I'm just so far, it's like very dense with material. But it's like nothing has really spoke to me yet. Obviously, since we're very early in, it's like it's not going to. But it's like this is gonna be. I could definitely see where people's complaints have come from with this game being very slow and can be painstakingly tedious. Oh, look at that. But I do like some of the aesthetics in the game, and I think some of the philosophical ideas it's toying with, it can really be something special And I'm sure we'll find out more as we continue playing. Damn, look at you, bro.
What?
Oh, this is one of the people we have to protect. Ah, Bachelor Dankovsky, of course. Who else could be so dapper? I've heard quite a lot about you. Have you taken a look around? Be sure to check the state of the industry around here. We have our own ways. How curious. And what is the current state of your industry? Come on now. It's a complicated establishment with 1,000 years of history. A special approach is required to control such a colossus. See where I'm getting at, emissary? It would be pointless to object. I could see we're not really seeing eye to eye. The project is a special, very special. That means common standards do not apply here. That would be very naive. You're probably right. Yes,
So
getting
my
everything back on
respects
track
is the
won't be an
Ripper.
easy task.
Funny.
How do you think Simon died? I don't think he was murdered. He could. How could he who craved monocracy not perish? He couldn't. Not in this place. Balance requires equilibrium. So Simon's course of action contradicted yours? Come now. What I'm saying, when someone takes too much upon themselves, they always end up ground down. That's how life works. Yet they say Simon was the one to bend the circumstances, not the other way around. No one seems to doubt that. Simon has lived a very long life. Very long. He was a worthy man, but long doesn't mean eternal, does it? No one is to blame for his death. Examine the body, you'll see for yourself. It just happened. Game won't let me examine the body. Well, that is temporary, a family tradition. He's not lying to you. He truly believes Simon was murdered. Were he to admit that Simon simply died of death, he'd probably go to his last home himself. The shock would be too much for the man. That's strange. Georgi Kane didn't appear sentimental to me. Interesting stuff. So it seems that some of these people contradict each other, which I would expect with a town this large and, you know, people with differing opinions and all that. So let's see. We're gonna go. So we came down here. Oh, I did not talk to Capella. I talked to the other dude. Is she even in here? I talked to this guy. Is Capella in here? I don't see a Capella. A Capella. There's no Capella in here. Yeah, so she's probably out and about because I don't see her. Let's see. Got Rubens Prosectorium, Bad Grease Lair, Castle of what? Soul and a Half. All right, I'm not gonna go to every place right now because I'm like, this place is so big, right? So I think I'm just gonna go only to the point of interest as of right now, and whatever happens in the game. So if that means that I miss out on some stuff, that will probably be the case because there's probably a lot to do here, and I really want to see what's going on here. So I'm gonna go to the next section. I'm gonna talk to the guy who brought me here, Isabel or whatever his name was. Isidore Barak. He's up past the river, so we're gonna go past the river now. But yeah, I definitely want to play more experimental games and niche games and indie games on this channel. I was thinking of maybe doing a playthrough of the Serial Experiments Lane game. Why are you looking at me like that? We know all about you. Actually, a lively girl. Shall we barter? Perhaps. I'm not gonna, I don't know why I got an accent like that. What are you so happy about, girl? We've almost caught the unseen cat. Want to come see her? Where did you find such a cat? It's the famous pale cat. Her eyes are like translucent emeralds. Her fur is gray and her body is completely transparent. I will never go after such a fright. Or so what? Can you see his bowels still? I go with that one. Yeah. The light passes right through her. It's very pretty, but most importantly, she's invisible in the dark, and rodents can't hear her. That's how light her step is. She belongs to the pale obtuse. To the what obtuse? It's no use. I know you won't believe me anyways. I just come over and see the cat for yourself. When it gets dark, it's by the 12th warehouse. The password is hell froze over. I'll do my best not to forget this intricate phrase. Alright, so Okay, so we're gonna go up now. We're gonna just go straight up. Straight up. Go down, because there's so many people, and it's like, I know one of the NPCs is like, it's okay, like to deviate and to not talk to only people who are like persons of interest and all that, but like there's so much to look around, right? And like, I'm sure a lot of these people have things to say, and a lot of them don't have things to say. They just blend into the background. So it's like, I have no idea, like, if I should talk to everybody or what. And like, I know some of these side quests I could do, whatever, right? So it should be here. Other tasks, yeah. The many-legged fugitive, which would be worried about the Monsieur Schmouters. Stash from Stillwater. Wait, this, I don't remember this at all. Did I? What kind of games? Okay. This is the kids like playing with the stuff, the concoctions, and yeah, the mission. But we're gonna do our main mission for now. Let's see. We're gonna go. We're close by. I think that building straight ahead is where we need to be. And then we're gonna be able to actually continue on with the mainline quest. No, it's this building. Right? No, it's that one. Past. So we have to go around. There's this fence. It's fenced off. So we have to go all the way around to get to that building. Oh, this dog's barking. Alright. Walking sideways is like super slow too. That's oof. Alright, we're gonna go straight here. Alright, we're gonna go in here. We're gonna talk. I forgot who. Isidore. Yeah, Isidore. We're talking to that dude. Bro, where's the entrance? Is this the right building? Yeah, it's the right building, so we have to find the entrance. Huh? How do you get inside? Do some parkour? No, you can barely do that. Okay. Is there another way around? I hope so, because, I mean, I'm sure there is. This game would not just soft lock you. That'd be funny, though. Oh, this is the way in. Okay. Got a couple of guys standing outside. You guys are twins. Alright, we're gonna go in there. Oh, okay, we're probably gonna talk to them then. We're gonna let it open. A foul murder occurred here this night. No unauthorized access allowed. Inspecting the crime scene is strictly forbidden until further notice. Is this a bad dream or something? Can someone wake me up, please? Whoever killed our only doc must surely be looking to get us all killed. Isidore could cure anything. He also knew how to make cuts or incisions, because he was a warden. He knew his lines all right. Like I said, it all makes sense. Whoever killed Simon took Isidore's life too, and this is merely the beginning. What makes you think the two cases are connected? Well, who would have the heart to attack such men? If you had asked me yesterday, I'd have told you no one would dare inflict such an ugly wound on this town. But if there is someone, it just has to be that someone. Although it looks fishy if you ask me, that thing was no man. That's what I think. Explain yourself. See, this murderous deal is all mysterious. There was a talon stuck in the victim's chest. Go ahead, bend your arm at the elbow, good sir. Yeah, like that. There you go. That's how long it was. It broke off. There was a dust on the floor. There was a dust on the floor, for the deceased had been renowned step walker, and the dust was all covered in hoof steps, and like traces of a sharp bone, I guess, as if someone was using a walking stick round here. I'm telling you, it's her, the Shabnakadur, the clay man-eater. I went to inspect the building. We've been assigned to the spot by Alexander, the head of Saburov family. His house is in decline right now, but it's still powerful and very much respected, for it is they that's been responsible for maintaining orderly order and public safety in the town since olden days. Please kindly address your concerns to him. There's their rod. You just take that road up there and get to the Cape. As for me, I'm not authorized to let you in. You should have said so from the start. So we're gonna have to go here, the rod, which is not that far. We just have to just go around like we did before, just enter this building and talk to Silberoof. But yeah, this so far we got two people dead. We got Simon Kane, and we got the person who pretty much gave us our mission to come to this rural town, Isidore Barak. So I'm if the next guy is dead, bro, I don't know what to say. Everybody's dying all out here. I don't know if I could check my ailment status or like my fatigue or anything. Is there a menu? Plague finder, inventory, diary, letters, character status is P. Listed the bound as T. Okay, so this, okay, and then P. Okay, my hunger and exhaustion are pretty low, but my health and immunity are pretty solid. Reputation is solid right now. So yeah, we need food, and exhaustion is pretty low. We need to sleep as well sooner or later. Let's see what other buildings. Okay, this is a torch. Okay, then this is the thing. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go talk to that dude we're supposed to talk to. Can I cut through here? What building am I supposed to go to again? Okay. Oh, I can't cut through here. Okay, alright, fine. I see how it is. I can't go through here. Where's the alley? There you go. Let's see. Are you gonna go through here? Is it this building probably? This extravagant? Yeah. Okay. Alright, so it seems like it's gonna bring us to some of these point of interest that we walk by. That is a long door. Alright, you're probably the guy I have to talk to.
Got a firm hand.
So I finally got to see you. Yes, you really do look like a messenger of sorrowful times. In any case, welcome to the Rod. Our meeting is quite significant in a way. Facing the changes with open eyes and taking the first blow is my duty. Do you think we're on the verge of an especially unhappy era? No grim events have clouded our existence since last summer. The country has cured its war wounds. Commercial communications have been repaired. Astrologists expect nothing ill. Do you hold astrologers' opinions in high regard? Sometimes I have to. Are you an astrologist? I am a ruler. Astrology can be very curious, but I cannot allow it to influence my decisions. I have to act according to factual circumstances. Would you agree? Definitely.
The outcome was to be expected, I'm afraid.
So
Simon
you've come
was
to
too.
meet with Simon, haven't you? What can I do for you now? I was actually invited by Isidore, so I came to meet with him first and foremost, but now it turns out that he's been murdered. Yes. Looks like the murderer is always one step ahead of you, doesn't it? The same one that took Simon's life too. At least that's the conclusion suggested by the information at my disposal. Same pattern, same signature. So who did it? You wouldn't believe it. His own son. The fellow came back after being away for quite a while. His father had sent him to study surgery when he was but a greenhorn. Quite a lot he has learnt, huh? A wandering scholar turned evil to the bone. All of that just to grab the inheritance. Wait, how did you figure that out? In all honesty, it's hard to explain that to an outsider like you. Do you believe in such a thing as clairvoyance, bachelor? Of course I do. Well, you should get to know my wife then, or better yet, those who have already had opportunities to witness the power of her prophecies. Former doubters, first and foremost, rationalists. She's got something to say to you, too, by the way. So your wife called out Isidore's son specifically? Not specifically, no, but it all adds up. And the circumstances of Simon's death make you wonder, too. Isidore's son arrived here last night. The timing speaks against him. It even matches the time it takes to get from the Crucible to Isidore's house. That's not enough. I'll have to take the investigation into my own hands. Is there anyone who could be of help to me, apart from your wife? There are very, very few good analysts in our town. Everyone is more or less superstitious here, except for one Yulia Lyurkeva. Perhaps a most level-headed and reasonable person, the only person who remains skeptical about Katerina's talents too. Without a shadow of a doubt, she has her own picture of events. She always does. What is this Yulia? She came here with an engineering team when the town was being rebuilt. Did logistics or maybe communications? Not sure. They said she's a true expert in the field. Smart, yes, a polymath. Then the team left, but she stayed. She has my respect, but not my fondness. Very well, I'll speak to this Yulia. So, we're just going around town speaking to a lot of people. We're a doctor who's turned detective at this point. So we are very much doing the dirty work of this town. We are trying to figure out who the hell killed all these people who so happened to die when I arrived. It's too much of a coincidence to not be connected, or at least that's what everyone here thinks. So we're gonna go talk to this Yulia who lives across the river. Let's see. I'm gonna do a quick save of this game. Actually, I'm gonna do a hard save. I want to see how long I've actually been playing, at least in the save file. It should tell me, right? We've been playing. I mean, that's not real life time. Okay, so we've been playing for a little over an hour now. The game definitely feels like I've been playing more than the time that has been listed on the save file, but hey, that is the price to pay for such a very slow-paced game, which the atmosphere it allows you to soak up the atmosphere of the game. I think it's pretty fine. I think the fog is pretty cool too. It was probably due to technical limitations, given that this game originally came out in 2005, which you may be able to tell from a glance, given the graphical fidelity of all things. But I like when games are not striving to look the best, but they do their best to convey whatever they want to the player, whether it's a great story or fantastic gameplay mechanics or whatnot, right? So it's just really dependent on what the developers have in mind and what's in store for the player. All right, so we're gonna go up that way. We're gonna go past the gates, I presume. Yeah, because you can see the gates up here. So you just go up there and walk our way forward to the building. But yeah, it's very interesting so far with what is going on. You know, it's a big mystery on our hands, and this game is very, very dialogue heavy, and I think we definitely have to eat some time and go to bed. I'm sure some of these individuals I can trade with, which kindly mend my clothes. I don't need clothes to be mended, but if any of these people will have food for me, I don't know if there's a place I can go to, like a market. You do not have anything close to what could be food. Okay. I believe this is the house, because a lot of these point of interests are very dark and brooding places. Yeah, this is definitely different architecture from the rest of everything else. So you could definitely tell whoever lives here is important of some kind. What is this, like it's a weird looking building. I want to say like a prison, maybe. Then you got like a guard or something watching, looking over people. At least that's my interpretation. You got little like dividers sectioning off areas of this place. You got a chessboard. It seems that's how people keep themselves entertained.
I'm afraid I'm of little use now.
I seem to have lost any capacity for observation. My mind is out of tune. Things no longer add up. Before, I had no trouble forming a trustworthy tessellation out of the most imperceptible contingencies. Now, I simply cannot get my head around it. Could it be that I'm dying? The steppe air is way too thick. I think that's what causes it. Oh no, Herba Tavernae is in blossom, I grant you. But then it blooms every year. Every year the steppe is filled with its stupefying vapors. The issue I'm having, however, has nothing to do with the fatigue or perplexity. It is just that I've lost my ability to make distinctive events coincide. Everyone has that ability. You don't seem to understand what I'm saying. Let me elucidate. A single word someone utters may precipitate the birth of their own murderer. This line of philosophizing... These people are saying way too big words for me to speak out loud. The line of philosophizing is barely intellectual novelty and is particularly irrelevant in our neck of the woods. I sometimes feel like I could teach notions of cause and effects with the tips of my fingers, but now I am being tedious, I reckon. Not at all.
I'm afraid it's natural.
So you have traveled all the way here only to find that both people you wanted to see were brutally murdered. Is this how the story goes? I do hope that your visit is not in any way related to these most unfortunate circumstances. I have to find whoever it is that killed Isidore and Simon. I wanted to ask for your help. Superrove told me that you have a gift for all manner of investigative inquiry. I am no certain I am certainly no better investigator than you. I never had a chance to search for murder before. The best I can offer is to fill in the blanks with whatever mysterious supernatural entities seem most fitting. Shabnak Adur is the simple man's scarecrow. I would have followed a different narrative. What kind of narrative? Consider the circumstances of his death. They said Simon had locked himself up in the evening and consequently died in the morning inside the mansion, in a chamber with some peculiar name. In this case, I would suggest that Simon was poisoned by the Canes. I would have thought, but I know their family all too well. Their mutual loyalty is only rivaled by their arrogance towards anyone who is not one of them. They hold the princely sage who stands at the head of their family in highest esteem. They believe that a single dishonorable act will tarnish the name for generations to come. I doubt any of them would have stooped to this, no matter whether they wanted to or not. Poison, how did you arrive at this conclusion? I don't believe you understand what he died in focus really implies. Do you know what the Canes refer to as focus? You don't seem to grasp the semantics of the term. These are the Canes for you. These kind of innuendos are their forte. Well, what is this focus then? The focus is anything but an abstraction. Quite the opposite, in fact. It is governed by mathematically rigid regularities. You see, no one but the owner of a focus may get inside. This can only mean that Simon had brought the killer with him, or rather, within him, since no physical object may be brought into focus either. How do you know that? Who doesn't? The Canes are notoriously passionate about all manner of synthetic anomalies. They will never pass up the opportunity to devise a construct that would allow them to warp space, challenge physics, or manipulate optics. Metaphysically, a focus can be compared to camera obscura. Do not note that the name is not unfitting. No, it is entirely impossible for someone to get inside. A curious conclusion, but an incorrect one. Simon was disfigured and bleeding. His bones were broken. Is that so? Well, this does introduce a different perspective. Did you say Isidore was the last person to see Simon? The question is, who did he see before? The sun had not yet set when Isidore returned from the steppe. However, he came to Simon well after midnight. The question naturally arises, where did he spend the missing few hours? That is why I'm trying to trace Isidore's steps. I want to walk the same route. Don't get me wrong, though. Was Isidore seen with Suvorov by any chance? He was. He warned Suvorov of an upcoming storm. Alright, let me suggest then that while he was in his steppe, he saw or learned something that he wanted to report to all three ruined families. In this case, either of the Ogmiski family should have been on his itinerary, especially since Barak was one of their own men. Really? Definitely. The Bull Project from the abattoir to the railway is controlled by the Ogmiski family. If Isidore's discovery had anything at all to do with the kin, Isidore would have certainly relayed it to Vlad. So do make sure to pay a visit to the lump. That's the name of the Ogmiski's mansion. Another fitting name, wouldn't you agree? Thank you, Yulia. What would I do without you? Alright, so we have to go back to the lump. Oh my god. There's so much that is happening right now, and I am barely able to keep up with everything. I don't know if I'm supposed to be eating right now or sleeping in the game, because my stuff, like my characters, like this stuff goes down. It doesn't look like it's gone down, but I haven't really been keeping track of the little incrementals. But we have to go to the other building again. But yeah, this game is very, it's definitely a game that's very intriguing, yes, but it's also so like, it's like very, it's like most of the time what I'm doing, right, is just walking from one place to another, talking to people, learning things, and walk to another location. So it's not a lot of game to the game, you know. It's more so like a, like basically what my title says, Eastern European Simulator. I am walking around doing God knows what, trying to investigate something, and I'm just being led in circles. I believe I'm going the right way, right? Where am I? Yeah. No. Where am I? Oh, down here. So don't cross the bridge. I don't have any negative feelings towards the game, but I'm not super psyched about it either. As I said, I'm intrigued by what's happening, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not really used to these kinds of games where the point is not to have fun, but more so experience whatever philosophical thing this game wants you to experience. And the game is not designed to be, I guess, a game, you know, because it doesn't feel like it's gamey, which is fine. Where the hell am I? There. Okay. As I said, like, video games themselves as a medium could be a lot of things, and they don't have to necessarily be fun or entertaining. I guess they just need to I guess go seek what they're trying to do in that format, in that medium, and try to do it in a way that really can't be replicated. I mean, they don't have to go out their way to make it so it's can only be experienced as a game, but it would help a lot if your experience is relatively focused on, you know, that medium and what it's capable of achieving, you know. So like, I wouldn't expect a game to be just a movie, you know, and just like no player agency, you just watch it. That's not a video game, right? But at the same time, as I said before, it's like, what really is a video game, and what really makes up the things that go behind the process of playing it, quote unquote. Given right now I'm not really playing, you know, there's no like real like objective aside from talking to people and learning what the hell is going on and why this stuff is happening, but there's like no real stuff behind it. I'm just reading a lot of dialogue, so in a way, as a glorified visual novel, I'm just walking around. Let's see. Yes, getting everything back on track will be an easy task. I'd like to inquire about the fate of my colleague Isidore Barak, about the manner of his death, to be precise. What are you implying? What is his manner you are talking about? Be so kind as to mind your own manners. I had nothing to do with it. Don't they say Isidore was murdered by a steppe demon, a Shabnakadur? There was that thingy, a talon they fished out from the wound. I could take this from kids and weirdos, but you respectfully negotiate. Alright, I'm gonna go with the second one. Right, a demon. Why didn't I think of it straight away? It's so obvious. No need to put on airs like you know life. Scarcely off the train are full of scorn already. Oh, I know these big city manners full well. Yet the capital is 1,000 versts away, as is any other decently civilized place, if you catch my drift. And you didn't let me finish. Alright, apologize for the sarcasm. Is your money where your mouth is, though? It's hard for you to believe, isn't it? It used to be hard for many. Take my boy, for example, a scoffer if I've ever seen one, and now even he believes it's real. He went off his head a bit. You're on a step now, esteemed sir, eastern and backwards. The dead rise from their graves here. Clay dummies dance and bulls talk. Does he know the step well, that son of yours? He rubs elbows with the rabble, the butchers, adonge, shepherds, gatherers, learns their tongue, collects their legends. He doesn't keep them in check at all. They even dare to come visit him within the premises of the town. If you see a worm creeping through the streets, he's definitely looking for my son. What's wrong with them visiting him within the premises of the town? They're dangerous, they're aggressive, and they hate everyone. Who isn't a step person? They'll just jump you and kill you on the spot. They'll tear you up with their teeth and devour your flesh while you're still throwing fists at them. So if you're spotted within the town, countermeasures are taken. So what of your son? Perhaps you can tell me more about this creature. Hold your horses. You want to talk to my blockhead? No, you have nothing to talk about. He's not here, thankfully. I don't want you two to meet. You heard me? There are tradesmen's words, and I'll stick to them. Yes, undoubtedly. Alright, so are we gonna have to look for a son now? Let's see. We can also go back to where Eva Yan is. Killer, so it stop breeding momentarily lost his temper. I think the son knows just as much as it would be easier to get him talking, but where can I find him? So I have to go look around for the son too. Before I do that, I'm gonna go talk to Eva Yan. Oh, who the? What the hell is that? I want to talk to you. I can't talk to you. I'm trying to talk to them. I'm gonna follow it though. Does anyone else see this thing? Or it's like walking through people. It's running a little goofy. Little silly little dude. Funny little critter. All right, I'm gonna see where he goes. I don't know. Maybe this is an omen of some sort, or maybe my character is just seeing things. But given how so far the people in this game have mentioned some supernatural things going around here, and I'm seeing this right now, and of course those masked people who, I mean, I'm sure they could just be people, but they definitely seem a little interesting to. A little too interesting given the knowledge they possess and how they present themselves. So I'm guessing this guy is either a person with a very strange getup and a mask, or is a entity of some sort. But where are you bringing me? Oh, combat. This is combat time. I could punch you. So okay. Ouch. Yeah, you're gonna kill me, bro. I'm dead. I'm absolutely dead. What is this? Oh. I could start from my last save if I want. But do I want to? This is one of those games where you watch people talk about rather than actually play it, because this is definitely not up my alley. It's yeah, I know that's what happens when I follow random creatures. This is a very interesting experience. I know this game is definitely multiple hours long, and I didn't have to do what I did, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't too engaged with this game. I'm sure the video essays about this game are very well thought out and make great points about the story in this game, but I did not particularly have a great time. I thought it was intriguing. I'll say that. I thought it was very interesting. But damn, it's not on my alley. Would I give it a chance again in the future? Maybe. I heard Pathologic 2 was definitely the more gamey game, you know. How long have I been streaming? I could maybe I could download the second game and we'll see how that plays, you know. So we'll do that. We'll try that out actually. Depending on how long this stream has been going on for. Let's see. Because I don't want to. Now 51 minutes. Actually, I'll call this a stream, because this is I want to just lay down now after playing that. It was very interesting. Like I don't know. It's just, that was a weird game. It was very weird. And I don't know if I could say I was having a great time or not. I don't know. It was it's very interesting. I don't know. Maybe I'll come back to this another time. But I think I'll try to find some more engaging games to play for stream, or at least something that has allows me to have better conversation about it, because there's a lot about this game that's, I think, contextual based, and also at the same time you need to have a lot of patience, and I don't know if I have the patience right now to continue playing this game, but I definitely I thought it was intriguing. I thought it was definitely very interesting, and maybe I'll play the second game on a different stream. But thanks for watching, everyone. Oh, you didn't hear me anymore. I put but no, thanks for watching, everyone. And I hope you have a good night. Adios.